I'm Deepak Jacob Thomas. You're watching my channel djthomasedu-world. Today's session will be explained based on Excel if formula. Mainly, Excel if formula has three basic compartments. One is the logic test. Second one, based on the logic test, what is the value to be true or the value to be false. What is exactly the logic test? Here we can input the condition what we want to set, like a text condition for the value to be true or a text condition for the value to be false, or you can also set any desired formula also in this. Here only one thing we have to make sure that when we set a text condition, it should be within quotes. If you want the text, the end results to be true at the end, or the end result to be false typed in a text format, it should be in a quote format. That means this is a quote format. Other than true or false, you can choose or type any of the value like feasible, not feasible, or you can say hello, and you can say how are you, whatever you want. The text, it does not matter. Likewise, other than text, you can input, say, the numerical value along with mathematical computation. That means you can input formula here, but only thing is that it should not be entered in a quote. That means there should not be open quote when you enter a numerical operators. Let's see in Excel spreadsheet how it is done. We will start with the comparison operators. What are the comparison operators? Comparison operators nothing but the greater than, lesser than, greater than and equal, lesser than and equal, not equal to. Here I have a data entered here like a chargers, data cable, battery and extension box. Here I have given opening stock and the reorder data. Now what I will do is that I will just input a text such a way that using mathematical comparators like equals if, click on if, it asks logic test. What is the logic test? Say that I'll use one of the comparator operators, that C3 is less than or equal to, say, D3, comma, it asks what is the value to be true. I will tell that I need reorder. I'll just close the quote, comma, what is the value to be false. I will just say I don't know nothing, so I just enter two quotes and close the bracket. Now I'll drag the formula down, I'll propagate it down. Now what happens is that here I have given the condition that if the opening stock is lesser than or equal to reorder, if this is this stock and this stock are equal, it should display reorder. If else, nothing should be displayed. Since all the parameters does not meet the criteria, only the first category gives the condition. Let's see for a greater sign how it works. Equals if, click on if, it asks what is the logic test. I will tell that this C3 is greater than or equal to D3, then comma, it asks what is the value. The value will be again reorder, close the quote, and what is the value if it is false. So I'll just tell that I need nothing. Here the logic test is C3 greater than or equal to D3, and just enter. Now I'll just propagate the formula down. Let's see what happens. Now since all this condition values is greater than the reordering point stock, we have given if this condition meets, that means C3, any value of C3 is greater than or equal to D3, it should display as reorder. Since all condition meets, so we get all cells as reorder. Let's see one more example with if of comparison operators equals if. Now this C3 not equal to, I'll just put two signs aside, to D3, then I'll put a comma, that means my logic value is C3 not equals to D3, that means lesser than or greater than sign. If I put on either side, it will indicate not equal to. What is the value if it is true? So it is reorder. What is the value if it is false? I'll say I don't need anything. I'll just close the bracket and give enter. Now just propagate it down. Here only the first cell, both the values of C and active cell D are equal, hence there is the condition is that if both are not equal, it should be a reorder, and if it is equal, its space should be empty. That's why it is empty. Since other two all categories of column C and D values are not equal, it is giving the value of reorder. This is how we can use an if function with comparison operators to do or obtain the desired result. Let's see with sum function. Here also have some data here. Now what I will do is equals if. Now I'll add a sum function to it also. That means sum, that is my logic test value. That means this range of C to D. Okay, I'll say that if it is greater than 20, that means if this column C value and column D value is on adding, if it is greater than 20, comma, what is the value to be true? That means I will enter it as a reorder, comma, what is the value if it is to be false? I will enter it as null. That means two quotes will do, because I don't want anything to appear on it, and I'll just close the bracket and give enter. Let me propagate the formula down. Now since if you see, if you add 10 plus 10, it will give you 20. That means if this value, we are given the condition of, say, logic test is sum of these two columns, if it is greater than 20, it has to be appear as a reorder. If it is not greater than 20, it should leave it as blank. Since it is not greater than 20, it is equal to 20, it is giving the blank, and adding these two values, it is greater than 20, that comes to 48, we get a reorder appeared here. That's how we can use a sum function along with if function. That means I'll start with if, enter sum value, choose the condition what I do, that means that is my logic test value, then I will give the condition to be true. What is the condition to be true? Like say reorder, which will be in a text, and the condition to be false, I don't want anything to appear, I'll just put two quotes and close it. This is how we can use if along with some function to obtain a desired result. Let's see with if functions, if and functions. So first what I will do is if equals if B3, I'll just tell that this value of products is empty. That means if there is no value in this, the value to be true is what? I'll just tell that I don't need anything. Next comma, then I will add an AND function to it. And that means I will tell this equals this comma. The second logic will be this active cell C3 equals active cell C4. Likewise for the next column, D3 equals D4, comma, next column is E3 equals E4, and I will close the bracket. That means first of my logic test value is B3. This the B3 is not equal to nothing. That means there is no value in this. At that time, the condition to be true is also nothing. That's why I just put two quotes. And when the condition is false, what you want the value to appear? This is what I want to appear. Before that, I will add if. Now what happens is that if I don't add if before an AND, it will not give you any value of whether true or any reordering point. For that condition, I have started with an if, given the logic test value. That means this cell is empty. What is the condition to be true is also empty. Next I will go with the false conditions. Here I'll start with if and select an AND condition, telling that if this is equal to this, condition logic 1, and this is equal to this, logic 2, and say cell D3 is equal to D4, logic 3, and logic 4 is E3 is equal to E4. Now I'll put a comma. Now for this if, till this point it has served the condition. For this if, that means second if, which I have inputted, value if it is true, it will take this as the logic condition. What is the value if it is true? I will tell that is equal to, say, open quotes, I'll say same parts, comma, else I will tell that is different parts. Now I'll just close the bracket. Here when you close the bracket, I have only closed for the second if condition. Since you can see one green bracket, open bracket here, likewise we can see one open bracket here. Now for the first if, I need to close, I need to put one more bracket. Let's see what happens. You see it turns to black. That means this, it is taken this closing bracket for if for the second if added and the black for the first if added, and give enter. Now what I have done is I have compared. If this is equal to this, it should be same parts, comparing this all conditions of parts detail 1 2 3. Now I'll just go for the second part. The second part, slight change I will do. Since I am comparing this, click bring the mouse to the, click on the formula bar, and you can see you are given B4 is equal to B5. Here what I will do, I'll just drag these things up. Say I will say that C3 is equal to C4. Since this what I'm doing is just dragging the formula up, nothing but just to give a comparison for this and this. First I given comparison for the row 3 and row 4. Second, if I don't want, I want the conditions of results of true and false of same parts in different parts, I am giving compare condition for this and row 4 and row 3, and I'll just give enter. From the second row, just drag the formula down. Now what happens is that we get a result. That means this and this are equal, we'll get the value as same parts. For second condition, if this value is equal to the top row value, we'll get the condition as same parts. Now what I'm doing, I'm comparing this value with the previous row of top. Since there is a change in the number, it gives different parts. Likewise, for this value also, I'll be comparing this value with the top row. It gives me a different part. Now coming to the last row, I'll be comparing these values to the value above it. We get same parts. This is how we can use if function compiled along with AND function to get a good result. Now VLOOKUP using an if function combined with the arithmetic operations. This is my data. My objective is to find what is the reordering stock. Here is the master data where I have entered the opening stock and the reordering point. Now I will enter equals if the logic test value is this is equal to nothing. What is the comma? What is the value to be to? I will tell let it be nothing. I'll enter with an open quote. Again I'll just go with quote comma, so that I need to complete my formula of false. I will start with VLOOKUP. Here, what is the lookup value? This is my lookup value, comma. What is the table array? This is my table array. Till where I have taken till column 2. That's why I'll put a comma and 2, and I will put a comma, and I want an exact match. For an exact match, I will enter 0 and close it. Minus, I'll perform one more VLOOKUP. This is my lookup table, comma. My parts details are this. I'll move till the reordering stock, that is till column 3. I'll put column 3, comma 0 for an exact match. Now I'll drop the formula now. Now what happens is that it has subtracted this value of opening stock minus reordering stock and given you what is the reordering stock needed. Here I used if. That means I asked first value if this is empty, the condition for true is also empty. Next I have started with VLOOKUP. I'll just look up this value as a table, and this is my table array. I will move till consider only this value of 2 till opening stock and give an exact match, and again I'll perform a VLOOKUP. Select this table and consider till the reordering point till column 3 and close the bracket. Here what happens is that Excel along with if function will do the subtraction part. Here the change point is that I have not used any quotes here. Since I want a numerical value, I will not use any quotes. This is how we can perform various types of functions using an if function. This concludes the chapter of if. Thank you for watching my videos. Hope you like these videos. Signing off, Deepak Jacob Thomas.